Banks are to blame for crypto not roaring. This is something new. Yeah, Armstrong's fighting about it along with Deaton. Latest on the government shutdowns. Prepare for mass layoffs. We'll talk XRP price along with news from across the pond.
I say lots of naughty things, so here's your warning.
And I've got the green background matching the green shirt, matching the green up on the screen. Screw the government shutdown. We want to talk rags and, well, we want the money to flow. But maybe it's the banks that are in the way of money flowing. Deaton, Armstrong. We're going to talk about it. Before we do that, your comments come first. You, the viewer, matter most. Leslie Boy says, Klaus, good morning. The shutdown just makes people get away from the government anything even more. I agree. The government shutdowns and shit like this turns a lot of people off. The thing is I have to do my job and share with you the news, good, bad, happy, or sad. We've seen this government shutdown affect markets globally. What else do I got for you? How about this one? Skyman63 says, hi, Klaus. Show a little love for your global followers, especially us in the good old United Kingdom. Thanks for keeping it real. Done. What if I told you I got 2 UK crypto stories for you? Juicy. Bitcoin's hitting 170,448. ETH is 43.29. The market seems to be warming up, but we're not breaking key points yet. BNB at 1,020, while XP is at 294, Sol's at 219. Altcoin season index 62 out of 100. Gold's roaring too. So remember, while gold's roaring, people are going to be paying attention. That's all right. As long as we hold where we are as we go through this, I will be happy. Volume right now in the crypto market, 193 billion, up 14% in the last 24 hours. Trump administration suggests imminent layoffs as bipartisan group of senators seek way out of government shutdown. Trump got a significant amount of blame during the last partial government shutdown, which took place at the end of his first term after he forced a shutdown over border wall funding. Democrats in Congress had demanded an extension to expiring healthcare benefits in order to pass the bill to extend government funding, but that didn't happen. Republicans in Congress refused, but offered a stopgap bill to keep the government open for several weeks. Yeah, let's just kick the can a little bit more. Democrats rejected. Yeah, that's where we're at. I mean, just throwing it out there. Look, when we get something juicy, I'll share it with you. But remember, I got to share you the bad news too. And the United States government dinking around like this, screwing around, is just, part of my job. Banks are the enemy. Deaton backs Armstrong's clash with Wall Street. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong stood before lawmakers on Capitol Hill and accused Wall Street banks of trying to kill stablecoin rewards. I want you to think about that. You take your cash, you park it into a bank account, a fund, something like that, a CD, money market, whatever you want to put it in, right? You earn interest. We want to know, why can't you do the same with stable coins? I mean, seriously, outside of the United States, you can in a lot of places. So seriously, that is holding it back. And who do you think is holding it back? It's the banks. Why? Because a lot of banks, if you compare products like apples for apples, banks maybe will offer you 2%, but stablecoin yields will maybe offer you 5%, 7%. So all of a sudden, if stablecoins for retail gets allowed, and all of a sudden stablecoin yield in the United States in general gets allowed, whoa, that's going to have a lot of people pulling money out of banks and putting it into what everyone stable coins. Pro XP lawyer John Deaton went even further, calling banks the enemies of ordinary people. He tied their actions to a history of bailouts and misconduct, reminding the audience that the same institutions had fueled the 2008 financial crisis while households lost homes. Yeah, I went through the housing crisis in 2008. Chicago's suburbs was brutal. Our home lost like 50 to 60% of its value in one selling season. Yeah, thanks banks for not doing due diligence. Here's Brian Armstrong. I've never been more bullish about the clear rules for crypto. It's obvious that market structure is a freight train that's left the station. Well done with the train leaving the station remark, buddy. But that hasn't stopped the big banks from coming for another handout, this time paid by your crypto rewards. They want to undo your right under the Genius Act law to earn USDC rewards. Don't let them in. Brian Armstrong will be pissed about this. Why? He custodies a lot of USDC. There's some USDC on base chains, and he would make a lot of money on that because obviously Coinbase would make money on this stuff. Banks want to ban rewards to maintain their monopoly, and we're making sure the Senate knows bailing out the big banks at the expense of the American consumer is not okay. I agree. Fuck the banks. Speaking of banks, Bank of England. News from across the pond. Governor says Stablecoins could reduce reliance on banks. See, so it's not just a fight that we're having here in Los Estados Unidos. It's also happening in the UK. Most of the assets backing commercial bank money are not risk-free. They're loans to individuals and to companies. The system does not have to be organized, Liz. Separate money from credit provision. In such a system, banks and stablecoins could coexist, while non-banks would carry out a greater portion of the credit provision role. It's important to consider the implications of a change thoroughly before going ahead. Look, the UK is even behind on crypto regs. And what's messed up about this is the premise of this article is about how the UK is behind. And because the UK is behind, they're kind of behind in 8-ball regs-wise, because money is flowing where? Elsewhere where regs are happening, where the stablecoin use is there, where banks are able to use them. The UK needs regulatory clarity that matches ambition. Again, the UK has been touted as what? Leading global crypto hub. That's what the UK government says. They want to be a leading global crypto hub. You can't do that if you're not getting regs done. Hesitation carries costs for a sector as fast-moving as crypto and DeFi. Talent, innovation are highly mobile. The UK risks losing ground to more proactive jurisdictions such as the United States and Singapore. To preserve its competitiveness, the government must match its ambition while learning from its ambition with action while learning from its international peers. It's just slow, everyone. Let's just be real here. Again, it's not the United States, it's the UK, it's a whole bunch of players out there. News from across the pond. XRP's at $2.94. Like I said, volume still healthy at 192 billion, up 14%. Swinging on over to XP. XP's volume up 30% to 6.4, so a little bit of market favoritism there for XRP. What's going on right now? We're battling right at that $3 mark. We're the friend zone, everyone, where people are like, this isn't that juicy, but it's cool, but yeah, I know. We want more than 3. We want to be north of the $3 mark. We want to be 330 to 350 where the market really starts warming up. But we got to wait until what? Until we figure out what happens with the government shutdown. Or banks the enemies, not allowing stable coins to generate yield. Well, yeah, because a lot of people would leave their banks and get into stables. Banks don't want that, and it's going to be an interesting battle. Deaton's pissed, so is Armstrong. The UK's behind, and, well, what's new? We're dealing with that here in the United States, and heck, it seems like a lot of the world is dealing with being behind on crypto. We've known crypto for how many years now? And yet we're just now worrying about making regs. Come on, everyone, you could do better. Governments overpromising, underdelivering. So we're going to see how long this game of chicken lasts in the Senate, with both sides not wanting to cave in at all. That being said, you still got to deal with ETFs. You still got to deal with regs and what everyone rate cut decisions. You think Jerome Powell's going to use the government shutdown right now as an excuse to pause? Or you think he's going to cut and give the market a reason to be green? Like my background. Well, that's my blue blanket, but that's my green background right there. I don't know. I'm let down by this, but then you got to remember, once we get past this poop sandwich, there really shouldn't be much in our way for the rest of the year. Long as Jerome didn't overcook the turkey too bad, and companies don't go through mass layoffs, like, where it gets worse and worse and worse, creating a recession, we should be good to go. Bullish fourth quarter, you bet your butts. Choo-choo what? You know the deal. Choo-choo bitches.